The day humans met aliens changed everything. It was a warm June morning in 2157 when the massive ship appeared near the moon. The ship was 3 times bigger than anything humans had built. Its smooth purple-silver surface reflected the sun's light in strange patterns. On Earth, people watched their screens with fear and hope. Captain Adam Wright stood straight in his blue dress uniform on the bridge of the UES Horizon. As Earth's best diplomat in space, he was chosen to meet the aliens first. Next to him stood Lisa Murray, Earth's top diplomatic officer. Her calm face didn't show the butterflies in her stomach. "Final checks complete, Captain," said Lieutenant Greg Powell from the pilot seat. "We're ready to dock with the alien vessel." Adam nodded. "Take us in, Lieutenant. Nice and easy." The UES Horizon was humanity's pride, a sleek exploration ship with Earth's most advanced technology. But as they approached the alien ship, Adam realized how small and simple their vessel must look to these visitors from deep space. "Remember," Lisa said quietly to the 12-person team, "we represent all of humanity today. No matter what they look like or how they act, we show respect." The airlock hissed open. Adam took a deep breath and led his team inside. The aliens called themselves the Zinthari. They stood 7 feet tall with slim bodies, 4 arms, and skin that shifted colors like mood rings. Their large black eyes had no visible pupils, and they spoke through translator devices that turned their musical clicks and whistles into English. Ambassador Krelthax, the Zinthari leader, greeted them with 4 slight bows, 1 for each arm. "Welcome, Earth representatives, to the ship of the Galactic Empire. We have watched your planet for some time." The meeting room was huge, with curved walls showing moving star maps. Adam and Lisa sat at a round table across from 5 Zinthari officials. The air smelled like cinnamon and metal. "We are honored to meet you," Adam said. "Humanity has dreamed of this day for centuries." Krelthax's skin flashed purple. Amusement, the humans would later learn. "Yes, we know. We have studied your transmissions, your internet, your history. You have achieved much for a young species. You have reached your moon and established small colonies on Mars and some moons of Jupiter and Saturn." Lisa nodded. "We're proud of our progress, though we know we have much to learn from advanced civilizations like yours." "Indeed." The ambassador's skin darkened. The Galactic Empire spans over 3,000 star systems and includes 27 intelligent species. The Zinthari have led this alliance for 12,000 years. For hours, they talked about Earth, human culture, and the Empire. The Zinthari shared information about faster-than-light travel, their government, and the many worlds under their protection. Adam felt both excited and overwhelmed. Then the conversation turned to military matters. "Your defenses are—" Krelthax paused, searching for a polite word. "Primitive. We have reviewed your military capabilities and war history." A screen appeared on the wall, showing images of Earth's navies, air forces, and space defense systems. Next came footage of human wars throughout history. "You still rely heavily on chemical propellant weapons," said a Zinthari military advisor named Rector. His skin flashed yellow with what seemed like disgust. "And your spacecraft have no real defensive capabilities." Adam frowned. "We've maintained peace on Earth for nearly 30 years. Our weapons serve mainly as deterrents now." Krelthax made a sound like bells tinkling, apparently laughter. "Peace on one planet is not the same as security in the galaxy. There are dangers you cannot imagine." "Perhaps you could share information about these dangers," Lisa suggested. The ambassador nodded and the screen changed to show insect-like creatures with armor-plated bodies and powerful limbs. The Morgoth Horde. They've been expanding into Imperial territory for decades, destroying everything in their path. We've been at war with them for 43 of your years." "And you're winning this war?" Adam asked. The room grew silent. The Zinthari's skins all turned a deep blue. "The war progresses," Krelthax finally said. "But this is precisely why we contact developing worlds like yours. The Empire offers protection." Lisa leaned forward. "In exchange for what?" "Resources, loyalty, acceptance of Imperial oversight. Standard terms for vassal worlds." Adam and Lisa exchanged glances. "Vassal worlds?" Adam asked. "We had hoped for membership." A seat at your council. Krelthax's skin flashed purple again. My dear Captain Wright, full membership is for species with significant contributions to offer. You are barely spacefaring primates with projectile weapons. The other Zinthari seemed to find this very funny, their skins rippling with purple waves. Adam felt his face grow hot but kept his voice level. Humanity has much to offer beyond weapons. Our art, science, philosophy. Yes, Krelthax interrupted. All developing species say this. But the galaxy is dangerous, Captain. The strong protect the weak. This is the way of things. Lisa spoke up. We appreciate your concern, Ambassador, but Earth would prefer a relationship of equals, even if it takes time to earn that status. Bold words, said Rector. But without the means to defend yourselves, they are only words. The meeting continued for another hour, growing increasingly tense. The Zinthari seemed genuinely baffled that humans would not gratefully accept vassal status. Finally, Krelthax rose to end the meeting. We will give you time to consult with your leaders, the ambassador said, but do not take too long. The Morgath expand ever closer to this sector. As they walked back to their ship, Lisa whispered to Adam, They think we're helpless children. Adam nodded grimly. Then maybe it's time they learned what Earth's children can do. Back on the UES horizon, as they undocked from the alien vessel, Adam called a private meeting with Lisa and his senior officers. Opinions? He asked. They're arrogant, said Security Chief Diane Foster. But they're also scared of these Morgath creatures. Lisa tapped her tablet thoughtfully. Did anyone notice how they reacted to the footage of our military animals? The K9 units and dolphin programs? Greg Powell nodded. They seemed disgusted, more than with our other weapons. Different evolutionary path, maybe, Lisa suggested. From what I gathered, the Zinthari evolved from herd animals. They see predator species as primitive and uncontrolled. Adam looked out the viewport at the massive Imperial ship. Get me a secure line to Earth. I need to speak with General Martinez immediately. What are you thinking, Captain? Lisa asked. Adam turned, a slight smile forming. I'm thinking it's time to show the galaxy what humanity's primitive approach to warfare really looks like, and I know exactly where to start. As the UES horizon pulled away, Adam gazed at the stars. The Zinthari thought humans were weak because they hadn't seen all of humanity's capabilities yet. They didn't know about the classified projects, the special programs kept hidden even from most humans. Programs like the one General Martinez oversaw, the one with the enhanced animals. The Galactic Empire had laughed at humans today, but Adam had a feeling they wouldn't be laughing for long. 6 months after first contact, the warning from the Zinthari proved true. The Morgath horde attacked the human colony on Proxima Centauri b, Earth's farthest outpost. The colony was home to 12,000 people who had traveled there to build a new life among the stars. Commander Olivia Grant stared at the emergency signals lighting up her control panel. She had been in charge of the colony's small defense fleet for only 3 months. Now 27 Morgath ships were entering the system. Where is the Imperial Protection Fleet? She demanded over the comlink. The response came from a nervous-sounding Imperial officer. Strategic retreat necessary. Colony defenses insufficient. Recommend immediate evacuation. Olivia slammed her fist on the console. They're running away, she told her crew. The mighty Galactic Empire is leaving us to die. Lieutenant Rick Peters looked up from his station. Orders, Commander? Olivia straightened her shoulders. Protect the evacuation ships. Get as many colonists off-planet as possible. On the surface of Proxima Centauri b, Colonel Jack Summers directed his troops to form a defensive perimeter around the main colony buildings. He had only 300 soldiers and basic weapons. The colonists rushed to board evacuation ships while soldiers moved into position. We need more time, Jack told his second-in-command, Major Allison Clark. The evac will take at least 6 hours. Allison checked her rifle. How long can we hold them off? Jack looked at the sky, where the first Morgath landing ships were becoming visible. Not 6 hours. Not without help. Back on Earth, news of the attack reached military headquarters. General Frank Martinez walked quickly through underground hallways, his footsteps echoing on the concrete floor. Two armed guards opened a heavy door marked Classified Warbeast Program. Inside, a large control room hummed with activity. Screens showed different animals in training facilities. Dr. Patricia Allen looked up from her workstation. "It's time, isn't it?" she asked quietly. General Martinez nodded. "Proxima Colony is under attack. The Imperial ships abandoned them." Dr. Eric Daniels joined them, wiping his hands on a towel. "The program isn't fully tested yet. We've only run simulations." "We're out of options," Martinez said firmly. "How quickly can the beast be ready?" Dr. Allen tapped commands into her tablet. "The Wolf and Bear units are combat ready. The Eagle Squadron needs another week, but they can fly. The Marine units are our best option, fully operational." "How soon can they deploy?" asked Martinez. "The UES Defender can be loaded and ready in 12 hours, Dr. Daniels replied. Martinez shook his head. "You have 6. The UES Defender was unlike any ship in Earth's fleet. From the outside, it looked like a standard carrier vessel, but inside it housed the secret that humanity had kept even from its own people. Captain Sam Weber watched as the special containers were loaded onto his ship. Through the reinforced glass, he could see the modified animals. Wolves with metal spine attachments, bears with armor plating and weapon mounts, eagles with targeting systems fitted to their heads. "Are you sure about this?" asked his first officer, Linda Morrison. "No," Sam admitted, "but I'm sure about one thing. If we don't get to Proxima soon, there won't be any colonists left to save." The loading crew moved carefully around a massive water tank. Inside, an enhanced orca whale watched them with intelligent eyes. Its body was fitted with cybernetic attachments and a neural interface chip that glowed blue near its blowhole. "Doctor," Allen checked the readings on her tablet. "The neural links are stable. The handlers are all connected." She looked up at Captain Weber. "You understand how this works, right? The handlers don't control the animals. They work together." Weber nodded. "Like partners." "More than partners," Dr. Allen corrected. "The neural link creates a bond closer than anything you can imagine. Human and beast think as one, feel as one." Weber watched as the handlers boarded the ship. Each wore a neural interface on the back of their neck that connected them to their warbeast partners. They moved with confidence, but he could see the weight of responsibility in their eyes. "It's time," he said. "We have colonists to save." At Proxima Centauri B, the situation was dire. Colonel Summers and his troops had been fighting for 4 hours. The Morgath ground forces pushed closer to the colony with each minute. Half the evacuation ships had launched, but thousands of colonists remained. "Fall back to position 3, Jack shouted over the gunfire. His soldiers retreated in an orderly fashion, but they were running out of both ground and ammunition. The Morgath were insect-like creatures with natural armor and powerful limbs. They moved in perfect coordination, using advanced energy weapons. Jack had lost 80 soldiers already. In orbit above the planet, Commander Grant's small fleet was down to 3 functioning ships. They fought bravely, but they were outmatched. Olivia knew they couldn't hold much longer. Then her communications officer called out, "Commander, new ship entering the system. It's one of ours." Olivia rushed to the view screen. The UES Defender appeared, moving fast toward the planet. "This is Captain Weber of the UES Defender," came the transmission. "Help is on the way." Olivia felt a spark of hope, but it quickly faded. One ship? What can one ship do against this invasion? On the Defender, Captain Weber gave the order. "Deploy the Warbeasts." Special pods launched from the ship, heading for the planet's surface. Inside each pod, handlers lay in neural link chambers beside their animal partners. Master Sergeant Ben, Howard felt his heart rate sink with the alpha wolf beside him. Through their connection, he sensed the wolf's eagerness for the coming battle. "Easy, Shadow," he whispered, though he knew the communication was deeper than words. "We'll be there soon." Colonel Summers watched in confusion as the pods landed, behind human lines. He had received no warning about reinforcements. The first pod opened with a hiss of compressed air. What emerged made Jack step back in surprise. A pack of wolves trotted out, but these were unlike any wolves he had seen. Metal spine attachments connected to their neural systems. Body armor covered vital areas. And their eyes showed an intelligence that seemed almost human. Behind them came a man in a specialized combat suit, moving in perfect sync with the lead wolf. "Master Sergeant Ben Howard, Warbeast Division," the man said by way of introduction. "Where do you need us?" Before Jack could answer, more pods opened. Bears lumbered out, standing 9 feet tall with armor plating and weapon systems mounted on their shoulders. More wolves appeared, along with handlers in combat suits. "What in the world?" Jack whispered. Sergeant Howard smiled grimly. "Not what the Morgath were expecting, sir." "Permission to engage?" Jack nodded, still stunned. "Eastern flank, they're breaking through there." Howard turned to his wolf pack and made a simple hand gesture. The wolves immediately moved out, splitting into tactical formations that Jack recognized from military manuals. The bears followed, moving with surprising speed for their size. From a nearby lake, something massive emerged. An armored orca whale in a specialized water tank that moved on heavy treads. A female handler stood beside it, her eyes unfocused as she communicated through the neural link. 2 Imperial observer ships watched from a safe distance. Ambassador Krelthax had sent them to document the fall of the human colony. What they recorded instead would change the Empire's view of humanity forever. The Morgath forces pushed forward, their insect-like bodies moving in perfect formation. They outnumbered the human defenders 5-1. Colonel Jack Summers watched through binoculars as the enemy approached the eastern perimeter. "They'll break through in minutes," Major Allison Clark said beside him. Jack nodded grimly. "Then we'll have to—" A sound stopped him mid-sentence. A howl rose from the group of enhanced wolves, followed by more howls joining in. The sound sent chills down Jack's spine. Master Sergeant Ben Howard stood calmly, his eyes half closed as he communicated through the neural link with his wolf pack. "They're ready," he said simply. Jack looked at the strange new allies. The wolves were bigger than normal wolves, with metal spine attachments and armor covering their bodies. He hadn't been briefed on this program. No one at the colony had. "What exactly can they do?" Jack asked. Ben smiled. "Let me show you." He made a quick hand signal, and the wolves moved as one unit. 20 wolves split into 4 packs of 5, each group heading in a different direction with perfect military precision. Their movements weren't just trained, they were tactical. "The neural link lets them understand complex battle plans," Ben explained. "They know exactly what to do." On the eastern edge of the colony, the Morgath front line suddenly faced something they had never encountered before. A pack of enhanced wolves attacked their flank, moving too fast for their weapons to track. The wolves didn't attack wildly like animals. They targeted command units and communications equipment with surgical precision. From his position, Jack watched in amazement as the wolves systematically disrupted the Morgath formation. "They're using standard infantry tactics," he said in disbelief. "That's just the beginning," Ben replied. A second wave followed. 3 enhanced bears, each standing 9 feet tall with reinforced armor and shoulder-mounted weapons. They charged directly into the Morgath heavy units. The impact was devastating. The bears shrugged off energy weapon hits that would have killed a human soldier instantly. One bear grabbed a Morgath tank-like vehicle and flipped it over with frightening strength. Another tore through a barricade that had stopped human forces for hours. In the Imperial observation ships, the Zinthari watched with growing horror. "This is barbaric," Commander Drelvox said, his skin turning pale gray with shock. "They've weaponized predator species." Ambassador Krelthax stared at the screens. "Record everything. The Council must see this." On the battlefield, the tide was turning. The Morgath, who had been advancing steadily, now fell into disarray. Their hive-mind tactics weren't prepared for the unpredictable attack patterns of Earth's enhanced predators. Lieutenant Nancy Rodriguez stood by the mobile tank containing the enhanced orca. Through her neural link, she could feel the massive marine predator's thoughts. Unlike the wolves and bears fighting on land, the aquatic warbeasts had a different mission. The Morgoth landing ships are approaching the water, she reported to Captain Weber over the comm. They're trying to escape. You know what to do, Weber replied. Nancy nodded and closed her eyes, focusing on the neural link. In the large lake that bordered the colony, more tanks had been deployed. Inside them, 4 enhanced great white sharks and the massive orca waited. Go, she whispered. The tanks opened into the lake. The marine warbeasts swam free, moving with speed that belied their size. The orca, nearly 30 feet long with cybernetic enhancements along its body, led the formation. The Morgoth ships hit the water, planning to submerge and escape. They never got the chance. The enhanced marine predators attacked with terrible efficiency. The sharks tore through the ship's outer hulls while the orca rammed larger vessels with enough force to crack them open. Back at the main battle, Colonel Summers watched as his human troops rallied behind their new allies. The Morgoth were retreating on all fronts now. They had never faced anything like Earth's warbeasts, and their tactics fell apart against the primal fury of enhanced predators. We're going to win this, Major Clark said in amazement. Up in orbit, Commander Olivia Grant received new sensor readings. The Morgoth ships are pulling back, she reported to her crew. They're retreating. The UES Defender moved into position beside Grant's remaining ships. Captain Weber appeared on the view screen. Status report, Commander. 3 ships operational. We've lost 2, but the colony evacuation is nearly complete. Olivia looked at Weber with new respect. What exactly did you bring down there? Weber's expression remained neutral. Something the Empire didn't expect. On the colony surface, Dr. Patricia Allen had arrived with the second wave of pods. She moved quickly between the Warbeast units, checking data on her tablet. The neural links were holding steady, but the animals and their handlers were reaching their limits. The Alpha Predator protocol is ready, she told Ben Howard as she examined his wolf pack. But I need authorization. Ben looked at the battlefield. The Morgoth were retreating, but a large group had dug in around their main landing ship. They would be difficult to dislodge without heavy losses. Do it, he said. Dr. Allen entered a command sequence on her tablet. The spine attachments on all the warbeasts glowed briefly blue. The effect was immediate. The wolves' movements became faster, more aggressive. The bears roared and charged forward with renewed strength. What did you do? Colonel Summers asked, watching the change. Boosted adrenaline, heightened aggression, and pain suppression, Dr. Allen explained. The Alpha Predator protocol. It's our last resort. The final assault was swift and decisive. The enhanced bears tore through the remaining Morgoth defenses while the wolf packs hunted down those trying to escape. In the lake, the marine warbeasts destroyed the last of the landing craft. From the Imperial observation ships, the Zinthari recorded everything with growing unease. They had expected to document the fall of a human colony. Instead, they witnessed something that would send shockwaves through the Empire. As the battle ended, Ben Howard knelt beside his alpha wolf. The animal was breathing hard, its enhanced muscles trembling after the boost from the protocol. Ben placed a hand on the wolf's head, feeling their neural link pulse with shared exhaustion and triumph. Good work, Shadow, he whispered. Colonel Summers approached cautiously. He had seen the wolf tear through enemy soldiers with frightening efficiency. Now it sat calmly, leaning against its human partner. I've never seen anything like this, Jack admitted. How long has Earth had these warbeasts? The program has been classified for years, Ben replied. We've been preparing just in case. Jack looked across the battlefield. The human colony stood intact. The evacuation ships were returning, and the Morgoth forces were in full retreat. The Imperial ships are still watching? Major Clark reported, pointing to the distant observation vessels. Ben smiled slightly. Good. Let them watch. Let them see what happens when you corner humans. In one of the observation ships, Ambassador Krelthak sent an urgent message to the Imperial capital. The Zinthari's skin had turned a deep blue of concern. The humans have capabilities we did not anticipate, he reported. They have formed neural bonds with apex predator species and enhanced them for warfare. This changes everything. As the sun set over the colony, Dr. Allen checked the status of all Warbeast units. The Marine Division had returned to their tanks. The bears were being treated for minor injuries. The wolf packs patrolled the perimeter, still alert. How did they perform? Captain Weber asked. Better than we expected, Dr. Allen replied. The neural links held even under extreme stress. The handlers and their beasts worked as one. Weber looked up at the sky, where the Imperial ship still hovered. Do you think they got the message? Dr. Allen followed his gaze. Yes, I think the whole Empire is about to learn what Earth can do when pushed too far. News of the battle at Proxima Centauri spread through the Galactic Empire like wildfire. The Zinthari High Council called an emergency meeting. Ambassador Krell stood before them, his skin shifting between colors as he struggled to maintain composure. The footage does not lie, he said, gesturing to the large screen where images of the battle played. The humans have done what no other species in the Empire has attempted. They have weaponized predator species and linked their minds to them. The council members watched in silence as an enhanced bear tore through a Morgoth tank. Several flinched. When the footage showed a pack of wolves moving with military precision to surround and eliminate a Morgoth command unit. This is barbaric, said Council Elder Vrinzoth, her skin pale with disgust. Using animals for war? It speaks to their primitive nature. Primitive, yes, Krell agreed. But effective. The Morgoth retreated from a human colony with just a fraction of these war beasts, as the humans call them. The Imperial War Minister Greklar leaned forward. How many of these enhanced creatures do they have? Unknown, Krell admitted. But my sources suggest their program is extensive. They have kept it hidden even from most of their own people. The Emperor must be informed, said another council member. This changes our assessment of Earth's military capabilities. Krell nodded. I have been instructed to return to Earth immediately. The Emperor wishes me to reevaluate our relationship with the humans. Back on Earth, the United Earth government held its own emergency meeting. Secretary of Defense Paul Wilson stood before world leaders in the New Geneva Conference Center. Captain Adam Wright and Diplomatic Officer Lisa Murray sat nearby, having returned from their first contact mission months earlier. The Warbeast program has proven successful beyond our expectations, Wilson announced. The Battle of Proxima Centauri has been won with minimal human casualties. And the Empire's response? Asked the President of the African Union. Ambassador, Krell is returning to Earth, Lisa Murray replied. His message indicated a desire to reassess Earth's position within the galactic community. In diplomatic terms, that means they're scared. Captain Wright nodded. As they should be. The Empire has been fighting the Morgoth for decades with little success. We drove them off in a single battle. Then perhaps it's time to show them more, said Secretary Wilson. I propose a military demonstration when the ambassador arrives, something to ensure they understand our full capabilities. 3 days later, Ambassador Krell ship landed at the Denver International Spaceport. A delegation of Earth officials greeted him, led by Secretary Wilson and Lisa Murray, now promoted to Earth's official ambassador to the Empire. Welcome back to Earth, Ambassador, Lisa said formally. We have arranged a tour of our defense facilities, as requested. Krell skin shifted to a cautious yellow. My government is very interested in learning more about your unique approach to warfare. Of course, Wilson replied with a smile. We've prepared a demonstration. The Zinthari delegation was taken to a military facility in the Rocky Mountains. The main parade ground had been set up with viewing stands. Behind Krell 10 other Imperial officials sat nervously, their skins shifting colors rapidly. The demonstration began with a display of conventional human forces, tanks, aircraft, and infantry. The Zinthari watched with polite interest but no surprise. Then Secretary Wilson stepped to the microphone. And now, Ambassador, we would like to introduce you to the 1st Warbeast Division. A door opened at the far end of the field. Out came 20 handlers in combat suits, each accompanied by an enhanced wolf. The wolves moved in perfect formation, their cybernetic enhancements gleaming in the sunlight. They performed complex maneuvers that demonstrated both their intelligence and their deadly potential. The Zinthari delegation's skin collectively paled. Next came the bear units, 8 enormous enhanced grizzlies with heavy armor plating and shoulder-mounted weapons. They were followed by a squadron of enhanced eagles, their wings fitted with guidance systems and their vision enhanced to see targets miles away. Our Marine division could not join us today, Wilson explained, but we have footage. On a large screen, videos played showing enhanced sharks, orcas, and even giant squid with neural interfaces and cybernetic augmentations. The Zinthari watched in stunned silence. How is this possible? Krelthax finally asked. The neural connection between your people and these animals. It should not work. Dr. Eric Daniels stepped forward. We've studied the question for years. It seems that humans evolved alongside predator species in a way your people did not. We formed bonds with them, domesticated some like dogs and cats. The neural link was just the next step. But they are killers, one Zinthari official said, his skin turning deep purple with agitation. Predators are driven by instinct, by bloodlust. Not entirely, Dr. Daniels corrected. These animals are intelligent. The enhancements boost that intelligence, and the neural link allows for complex communication. They understand what they're fighting for. To demonstrate, Master Sergeant Kelly Robinson stepped forward with her pack of enhanced timber wolves. She removed her neural interface, showing that the wolves remained calm and disciplined, even without the connection. They choose to fight. Alongside us, she explained. The link makes us partners, not master and slave. As if to prove her point, one of the wolves, a large male with silver-gray fur, approached Krelthax and sat calmly, looking up at the alien with intelligent eyes. The ambassador backed away, his skin turning almost white. Would you like to see a demonstration of their capabilities? Secretary Wilson asked. That won't be necessary. Krelthax replied quickly. I have seen enough to report to my government. Later that evening in the Earth Embassy, Lisa Murray met with Captain Weber, who had returned from Proxima Centauri. How did the ambassador react? Weber asked. He was terrified, Lisa replied, with a small smile. All of them were. It seems the Zinthari evolved from herd prey animals. They've genetically engineered themselves away from aggression over thousands of years. The concept of forming bonds with predators is completely alien to them. Good, Weber said. Fear works better than respect sometimes. It gets better, Lisa added. I've just received word that the Emperor has requested a human delegation to attend the next Galactic Council meeting. We're being offered full membership, not vassal status. Weber looked out the window at the stars. They're not impressed by us, are they? They're afraid of us. Does it matter? Lisa asked. It's working. Earth will have a voice in the Empire now, and the Morgath will think twice before attacking another human world. Later that night, Ambassador Krelthax sent his report to the Imperial capital. His message was brief but urgent. The humans call themselves peaceful explorers, but they have weaponized the most dangerous predator species of their world. More concerning, they have formed neural bonds with these creatures, a symbiotic relationship our scientists believed impossible. I strongly recommend immediate elevation of Earth status and careful diplomatic handling. The alternative could be problematic. The reply came quickly from the Emperor himself. Extend full membership in the Galactic Council. The humans and their warbeasts will be more useful as allies than as potential enemies. The predator species, as they shall henceforth be known, may be what we need to turn the tide against the Morgath horde. As Krelthax read the message, he looked out at the Earth shining below his ship. The humans had achieved in months what other species had failed to gain in centuries. The respect and fear of the Galactic Empire, all because they had embraced what made them unique, their connection to the predators they evolved alongside. The Empire had laughed at humanity's military capabilities. They weren't laughing anymore. 3 years passed since the Battle of Proxima Centauri. Earth had changed in that time. Humans now traveled freely through the Empire, and alien visitors had become common on Earth. The United Earth government had built a grand embassy on the imperial capital planet of Zinthar Prime. Tonight it glowed with lights as diplomats from 30 different worlds gathered for a celebration. Ambassador Lisa Murray stood on the embassy balcony, looking out at the alien city. The tall crystal towers of the capital reflected the light of 3 moons. She wore a formal diplomatic uniform with Earth's new symbol, a stylized wolf head inside a circle of stars. "Quite a view, isn't it?" said a voice behind her. Lisa turned to see Dr. Patricia Allen. The scientist had traded her lab coat for an elegant dress, but her tablet was still in her hand. Some habits never changed. "I never thought I'd be standing here," Lisa admitted. 3 years ago they called us primitive, and now they call us the predator species, Patricia said with a small smile. "Not sure if that's an improvement." Inside the embassy, the reception continued. Representatives from across the galaxy mingled, drinking Earth wines and sampling foods from both human and alien worlds. In one corner, Captain Sam Weber talked with military officials from 3 different alien species. They listened intently as he explained Earth's latest innovations. General Frank Martinez stood nearby, watching the room with a careful eye. Even at a diplomatic function, he remained alert. His gaze drifted to the security detail along the walls, both human guards and their Warbeast partners. The Warbeast program had grown beyond anyone's expectations. What began as an experimental military project had become Earth's signature contribution to galactic warfare. There were now specialized divisions for every environment and combat scenario. The neural link technology had improved, allowing for deeper connections between handlers and their animal partners. "General," called a voice. Martinez turned to see Ambassador Krell-Thax approaching. The Zinthari diplomat's skin was a pleasant blue-green, the color of friendly conversation. "Ambassador," Martinez said with a nod. "Enjoying the reception?" "Indeed. Your Earth wines are becoming quite popular in the Empire." Krell-Thax glanced at the 2 enhanced panthers that lounged near the security checkpoint. Their black fur gleamed under the lights, and the cybernetic enhancements along their spines pulsed with soft blue light. "Your security measures remain impressive," the ambassador added. Martinez smiled slightly. "They're not just for show, if that's what you're wondering." It hadn't taken long for the Empire to realize the full value of Earth's unique approach to warfare. After a series of decisive victories against the Morgath Horde, the Empire had granted Earth full membership on the Galactic Council. Humans were now seen as key allies in the ongoing war. Director Eric Daniels, recently promoted to oversee all Warbeast operations, joined them. "The newest training protocols are working well," he told Martinez quietly. "The wolf packs can now perform complex multi-stage missions without handler guidance for up to 6 hours. Martinez nodded approvingly. "And the marine units?" "The enhanced Dolphins have mastered the new underwater detection systems. Their intelligence was always remarkable, but with the neural enhancements, they're performing beyond our expectations." Across the room, Master Sergeant Kelly Robinson chatted with a group of young alien diplomats. They kept stealing nervous glances at her ever-present companion, a large timber wolf with enhanced cybernetics that sat calmly at her side. "Is it true you can feel what it feels?" one young Zinthari asked. Kelly nodded. "The neural link works both ways. I sense Shadow's thoughts and feelings, and he senses mine. It's a partnership." "Aren't you afraid?" another alien diplomat asked. "It is a predator, after all." Kelly scratched behind the wolf's ears, and it leaned into her touch. "We trust each other completely. That's what makes the bond work." The conversation was interrupted by a sudden commotion at the main entrance. Security officers rushed forward as shouting erupted in the hallway. The embassy lights flickered and went out, plunging the room into darkness for a moment before emergency lighting came on. "Security breach," a guard shouted. "All guests take cover." 4 figures burst into the reception hall. They were Morgath warriors, their insect-like bodies covered in combat armor. They carried energy weapons and moved with deadly purpose. "Death to the Empire," one of them chittered in broken galactic standard. "Death to the human predators." The guests scattered, diving for cover behind tables and pillars. The Morgath fired. Their weapons, shattering crystal decorations and sending diplomats running in panic. Ambassador Murray dropped to the floor beside Dr. Allen. "How did they get past our security?" she hissed. Before Allen could answer, a low growl rumbled through the room. The two security panthers had risen to their feet, their eyes locked on the intruders. Their handlers hadn't given any commands. They didn't need to. The neural link allowed the panthers to understand the situation perfectly. The panthers moved with stunning speed, leaping over tables and weaving between guests. The Morgath tried to track them with their weapons, but the big cats were too fast, too agile. They attacked in perfect coordination, one drawing fire while the other closed in from behind. The first Morgath fell with a panther's jaws locked around its throat. The second dropped its weapon as razor claws tore through its armor. The remaining two intruders backed toward the wall, firing wildly. Then Shadow, Kelly Robinson's Timberwolf, joined the fight. The enhanced wolf moved like a ghost, circling behind the attackers. With military precision, it disabled one Morgath by severing the tendons in its leg before knocking away its weapon. The last attacker found itself surrounded. Two panthers in front, an enhanced wolf behind, and human security guards closing in with weapons drawn. It dropped its gun and raised its limbs in surrender. As the lights came back on, the diplomats emerged from hiding. They stared in amazement at how quickly the situation had been controlled. 3 of the 4 attackers were incapacitated, and the 4th had surrendered, all without a single shot fired by human security. The Galactic Emperor himself had been among the guests. Now he approached Ambassador Murray, his ornate robe slightly disheveled from the chaos. "It seems we owe your security detail our thanks," he said, looking at the panthers as they returned to their handlers' sides. "And perhaps our lives." Lisa nodded respectfully. "Earth is committed to the safety of all our allies, Your Majesty." Later, as the excitement died down and the Morgath assassins were taken away, Kelly Robinson knelt beside Shadow, checking him for injuries. The wolf seemed perfectly fine, alert and calm despite the recent violence. "Good boy," she whispered, pressing her forehead against his. Through their neural link, she felt his simple satisfaction at a job well done. Ambassador Krelthax approached, cautiously. "Your security measures are most effective," he said, keeping a respectful distance from the wolf. "They're more than security," Kelly replied. "They're part of who we are now." The ambassador nodded slowly. "The Empire laughed at your military when we first met your kind. We thought your attachment to animals was primitive, your technology unsophisticated." He glanced at the wolf with a mixture of fear and respect. "We were wrong. Perhaps there is wisdom in embracing one's evolutionary heritage rather than engineering it away, as we have done." As the diplomatic reception resumed, now with excited chatter about the thwarted assassination attempt, Lisa Murray stood with General Martinez, watching the easy way the handlers interacted with their Warbeast partners. "3 years ago they called us backward," she remarked. "Now they see our connection to Earth's predators as our greatest strength." Martinez nodded. "Humans have always been adaptable. It's what kept us alive through our evolution, and it's what will ensure our place in the galaxy now." Outside the embassy windows, the 3 moons of Zinthar Prime shone down on the alien city. Earth was no longer just another world in the vast galactic empire. It was the home of the predator species, humans who had embraced their planet's fiercest creatures and formed bonds that the rest of the galaxy could barely comprehend. The Empire had stopped laughing long ago. Now, they watched and learned.